Hello, welcome. Welcome to this impromptu stream. Hello. I see there's a viewer here. Is my audio and everything okay? Just let me know with a quick chat, and I am about to get started. Thank you for showing up early. And to those of you that are watching the reruns of this stream, because I am going to be leaving up VODs unlisted for those of you who want to go back and watch them. So if that's you and you're watching this, hello. I don't know why you would want to rewatch something like this or like watch a VOD of this because I don't think it's really that interesting if you're not here, but it's there for you to enjoy as an unlisted video. So hello, welcome to the people who are here. I am going to post this on Instagram as I always do. As you can see, change of scenery. Live on YouTube. Come join. Change of scenery. I am back home today. We drove 9 hours, and I drove some of it, by the way. Not all of it because I was asleep for most of the time. But yeah. But I am back. I'm back in my natural habitat. I am back in the basement. It is good to be back. Let's see if we have anyone commenting. Not yet. I'll allow some people to come through, and we can get started. I don't know what the response is going to be like on a Monday night, to be completely honest with you. But I am here anyway. So, but thank you. There's already some people. Hello, welcome. All right. Live on YouTube. Hang out. All right. And then what else? I need to post it to my Discord server as well. At everyone, I'm live. Come hang out. Okay, there we go. All the promo out of the way. What's up? Hello. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the first stream I've done in a very long time. And by long time, I mean it's been a bit. But yeah. Hey, Eric, how are you? I'm doing great. Greenleaf City Video Gaming. It's nice to see your profile again. It's been a while since I've done one of these, and it's been a while since I've seen you here. I'm doing well, so thank you for stopping by. That means a lot. Emma, hi, Eric. I wish I could stay longer than 3 minutes, but I'm heading to the ER, so I'm wondering how long you'll be on live. First off, I hope everything's okay. Definitely going to be thinking of you, and I hope everything's all right. And I don't know, probably like 2 hours, so I don't know. But definitely take care of whatever you need to take care of first. I won't take it personally, and I hope everything's okay with you. Derek says Eric is the best YouTuber ever. Thank you, Derek. I appreciate that. That really means a lot to me. I appreciate your continued support. And there will be videos soon in the next couple days, so that's fun. How are you doing, and how's college? I just finished my junior year of college, so that's cool. I am officially a senior now. I don't know when you become a college senior. I think like once you're done with your last final for junior year, that's when you become a college senior, in my opinion. Or I don't know if it starts when like you do your first class. I don't know. I'm a rising senior. I don't know what you call it, but I am going to be a senior, or I am a senior, depending on how you look at it. And I just did all my finals. I'm gonna be honest. It was the finals were very overwhelming. I was thinking about doing like a video, but I really just wanted to focus on school, and I'm sure everyone understands that because when you're doing a video and you're trying to study for classes, that can just be a lot to juggle. I've done it in the past, but what you don't see is how difficult it is to do those two things at the same time, because I'm worried about, oh, did I get enough footage? And then I'm also worried about, oh, did I study enough for this test that I have in like 30 minutes, And it's just kind of juggling those two together, and it can be very difficult at times. So no finals week related content this semester. Probably, maybe my senior year I'll go all out and do a lot more videos. I'm not entirely sure yet, but yeah. But college is going fine. My finals went well. I have all A's as far as I'm concerned. I'm waiting on the grade for one class. There was one class that I did where I just got um, I needed like a 92 in order to on the final to get an A in the class, and I got a 92.5. So I just squeaked it out. So that was nice. But yeah, finals are fine. Everything's fine. Uh, but yeah, I kind of have a. I'm not sick, I don't think, but I'm kind of like, have a little the sniffles or whatever you want to call it. But I'm not sick. I slept all day today. I literally slept the entire day. I was in a car all day. We were driving back from Chicago or Indiana, and we drove 9 hours all the way back home. And like did that, started at like 7 something and got here at like 5:30. So I literally, in order to make car rides go by faster, I hate car rides. I just sleep the entire time. So I literally slept for at least 2/3 of the car ride. Did you forget to call your mom yesterday? It was Mother's Day on Sunday. I didn't forget to call my mom because my mom actually came and picked me up from college on Sunday, so I could tell her that happened. So I didn't even have to call her because I saw her like there in person. I hope to get a chance to get back on. I'll text you on Instagram if you aren't busy. All right. Well, thank you for stopping by. But yeah, I don't know how long I'm gonna go. It really depends on how many people we get in here, and at least an hour at the very least. But I really don't know. Oh, I forgot to put monetization on for this. Who cares? I don't know how much money I'm making from putting ads on a live stream anyway. I'm not entirely sure. Did this go out to Discord? Yeah, I sent it to Discord, sent it to Twitter, and I sent it to Instagram, I believe. Yeah, I kind of did an impromptu stream, so I'm not gonna be entirely hurt if people don't watch it. But yeah, I would think everyone's like doing the whole finals thing, right? Are we? What's the? Because I know for college we usually get out earlier. We have our finals earlier, so I assume those of you who are in high school or out of school or whatever. I don't know. I mean, I would assume those of you in high school are still doing the whole high school thing. I would think. But I will say the one good thing about college is we do get off earlier than normal, so that's always good. But yeah, Monday night, I don't know. I have nothing going on, so I decided to do one of these, but I'm sure you're all cramming for finals or whatever it is you people do on a Monday. I don't know. Um, but yeah, so the fact that anyone is here means a lot. Thank you. But yeah, let me pull up my Twitter real quick and see if I got anything on there. But yeah, this stream's just gonna be laid back, kind of hanging out. Feel free to ask questions. If you don't, it's cool too. Can just kind of hang out for at least an hour, and that's kind of how it's gonna be. We don't have uh too many people on. Honestly, I might end it early if we don't get too many people, just because it's hard to just talk when there's not a lot of people. But it is what it is. That's why in some cases it would be helpful if I were playing a video game, so then I could like concentrate on the video game and like read the chat, but my computer would just overheat and explode if I tried playing a video game. So this is kind of the only option I have, and it's just kind of hard to balance those things sometimes, you know what I mean? Bye bye. Thank you for showing up. I appreciate it. Have you been vaccinated? Good question. I got my first dose on April 20th, 420, and I'm getting my second dose tomorrow actually. So I'm prepared. I've heard I don't know like what vaccine everyone's gotten. If you got Moderna, Pfizer, if you haven't gotten it yet, or if you got the Johnson and Johnson. But from what I've heard, the second dose of either Pfizer or Moderna, that really hits you hard. So I'm going to be getting that tomorrow at 4:45. So I'm probably gonna just be like, I've heard it just knocks people out for a day. I don't know. I don't really know what to expect. Has anyone here gotten the second one yet and knows what that's like? Because I was relatively late to the whole vaccine party because I was one of the last people that was actually allowed to get it. They have this list of people that they who can get the vaccine first, and then there I am at the end of the line, just waiting my turn. And so already have a lot of friends who are fully vaccinated. My sister's fully vaccinated. My dad's fully vaccinated. But I'm still waiting because I've been waiting for the longest time to actually get an appointment because it's kind of difficult at times to get an appointment. And so I got the first one, and then now I'm getting the second one tomorrow. So that could be fun. The Eric Freeze, hello, welcome. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Again, I like your name. It's a cool name. But yeah, yeah, the second one tomorrow. I'm planning to just be knocked out tomorrow the entire day. Or no, I have it at 4, so I imagine I don't know when they kick in, like the side effects, but I've been told they kick in like a little afterwards, like they don't kick in right away. I'm sure it varies from person to person, so I'm not entirely sure. But I don't know if anyone here has any experience with that and actually knows what that entails. But I am getting it. I'm getting the second one tomorrow. So, and I think if you have the opportunity, you also should, um, when you can, and when it's available to you. Which I think it's like everywhere, right? In America, at least. I don't know. I didn't know. I learned this the other day that apparently in Canada, the vaccine distribution is like really bad. I was doing a podcast with someone and it was a good interview. They had me as a guest or whatever, and he was telling me that in Canada that they're in lockdown again, like complete lockdown, which was just crazy to me because we haven't been in lockdown in a while, and that was just crazy to hear. And he was saying that like basically uh, they only have like 3% of people there are fully vaccinated, which is just wild to me. So it's just kind of crazy to see how different areas are handling this whole thing and kind of stuff like that. But yeah, and that podcast will be out within I think he said like a week or so. So when that comes out, I will keep you updated. We talked about like my whole YouTube journey and now I've touched on this before, but this is probably one of every podcast I've done as a guest I've enjoyed. Definitely. I'm trying to think yeah, I've done how many podcasts? 5 or 6. Every one I've ever done, I've always enjoyed. So I don't want to single anyone out, but I'd say this would probably be one of my favorites just because, I don't know, I didn't know this guy, but the chemistry was good. He seemed to know a lot about me. He did his research. So when that comes out, I will pass that along and hopefully you'll enjoy it. We talked about a bunch of different things like how I started YouTube, which I would assume everyone knows that story by now, but we touched on that. We touched on the famous Bumble videos, which I know a lot of you have seen and have come here from. Didn't talk about TikTok too much, so that's good, I guess. It can be a little annoying to talk about TikTok sometimes, but yeah. But yeah, so that will. I'm not gonna show feet. I I have socks on, so I don't really know if you want to see that at the moment. Um, I'm wearing socks. So do you want to see like my feet with my socks on, or do you want me to actually take off the socks and do it that way? Hello, hey Erica, nice, nice. Now we got some people coming in. Yeah, I'm not showing my feet tonight. I got my first Moderna vaccine nearly 2 weeks ago. I'm getting my second dose on May 28th. All right, cool. Um, Hello, Rocky. Okay, we got some people coming in. Nice, nice. Everyone's kind of coming in at around the same time. I don't know how the notifications work and whatnot, but can I move into the basement with you? I will say it feels good to be back in the basement. It feels good. I have a blow up mattress in the back. We're experimenting with a new setup, as you can see. Normally, I'll be facing that. My back is to that direction, but now I'm facing this direction. And yeah, I have plenty of space if you want to move into the basement with me, but I don't know how my family would feel about that. I feel like they don't like having me here as is, so I don't know if adding another person would be a very good call, in my opinion. I had a thing of water. What did I do with it? I don't know. I brought water down here and I left it somewhere, so that's kind of unfortunate. Where? I don't know. And we're not going to do the thing where we say look behind you and okay, the IG story post. You know the thing people do is when they say that there's a ghost behind me or a monster behind me. We're not doing that today because I see there is no best way I get my news is through Instagram. Okay. Yeah, I posted on Instagram, I posted on Twitter, I posted on Discord, so and then, of course, the YouTube notification. But I have no idea how YouTube notifications work. I've said this before, but I personally don't have notifications on for anyone. So I don't know how they work for people. People tell me that they don't get them and stuff. I don't control that. I don't know how that works. Because I set them off for anyone. Because there's no, like, YouTuber out there that I, like, 100% want to see every video they upload. I'll just look through my sub box, and if there's something interesting, I'll click on it. There's a man in my ceiling. It's cool. I won't come out of the basement ever. Oh God, no. Oh, I didn't even realize I was kind of cut off here. Whoops. Um, there's a man in my ceiling. I mean, I guess they could. You see that? I don't know what it's called, but there could be someone up there possibly. But I don't think there's a man in my ceiling. I will say though, sleeping in the basement is scary. Like this stuff is legit. Like I remember once I was taking a bath at 1 a.m. Don't ask me why. I was taking a bath at 1 a.m. and we have this door that is like that connects you to the outside. I'm pretty much how if someone ever wants to like rob me or whatever, I'm kind of giving them instructions on how to do so. So please don't find out where I live. But in my basement, there's this door that takes you outside and like you go upstairs and then you're outside or whatever. And I guess one night I didn't shut the door the entire way. My dad was doing yard work or something, and it was open ajar, and then it was windy outside, and then it opened all the way up, and like for 30 minutes I was like, holy crap, like there's someone in my basement or whatever. And because the door was open, so I thought someone was in my basement, and because I thought I had locked the basement door or something, and someone was in there. And it took me 30 minutes to kind of creep. I got a weapon or something. Like I was ready to like, you know, uh, not kill this person, but knock them out or whatever. And um, yeah, it took me 30 minutes, and then I realized it was just the door open. So that was a thing that happened. Um, what is your least favorite animal? Asked Ian. That's a good question. Least favorite animal. Okay, are we talking about? I don't. Least favorite animal. Gosh. I don't know. I mean, that's interesting. I think dogs are cool. I think cats are cool, but I don't think cats are necessarily as interesting as dogs, even though they require less work. But I guess when we're talking about least favorite animal, I would think of like animals that are like ugly to look at, like that are just kind of disgusting. Um, and then in that case, I would say probably like a crocodile or something. I mean, I think alligator, crocodile. I don't know if there's a difference. I honestly don't know, but they look the same to me. But there's just something about them. Like I don't, I'm sure all these reptiles are cool and stuff and all that. But whenever I see them, they're always just trying to bite people's arms off. and it just is kind of, I don't know, you know. And it's not like they're really that cute either, you know. Like I just kind of want to leave them over there, do your own thing, and I'll do my thing, you know. So they're definitely one of my least favorite. Snakes, yeah, snakes too. Like snakes, I don't really get the. You hate the squid. That's an interesting one. What's your favorite swear word? I am not saying that. I mean, yeah, I guess I forgot about snakes too. Snakes definitely, because I don't really see any redeeming qualities about either of those things. I mean, I guess you could say like alligators kind of look cool. They definitely kind of look cool, but it's not like they're adorable or cuddly or anything like that. They're definitely like interesting or whatever, but it's not something I would want to have as a pet or even like be near, you know? I'm just trying to spiders. Yeah, I didn't really think about adding yeah, spiders to that. Yeah, I guess you could, yeah. Um yeah, I don't know. I'm not really like freaked out by the whole bug thing. I know a lot of people are kind of freaked out when it comes to bugs. I've never really been that like paranoid when it comes to bugs. The ones that I really hate that we get a lot here are like these. I don't know what they're called, but they're long and they have a ton of legs. I don't know what the proper terminology for them is, but they yeah, I don't know what they're called, but what they do is they just like go up at like the corner of the ceiling or whatever, and they just kind of stay there, and then you just look up and you're like, oh my gosh. So those I would say are kind of scary. I definitely don't like those. Um, yeah, I wasn't even thinking about insects, but yeah, definitely. I mean, it's not like I like insects, but I don't hate them as much as people do. It's only spiders. All other bugs are okay. Interesting. Yeah, they're just yeah. I know some people like they'll freak out over bugs and stuff. Luckily, in the apartment that I had in Chicago, there was no really problem with that at all. Centipede? Maybe. Is that what they're called? I guess that would make sense, right? I don't know. Long, lot of legs. Yeah, I would guess that's probably what it is. Though I hate those. And then you have to get a shoe and, whack it. Because if there's, I don't know if this is a hot take, but if there is a bug in the house, in an apartment or whatever, I don't enjoy killing it, but sometimes, you got to do what you got to do, you know? Like sometimes there's a position in which you can get a paper towel and you can let it outside. Other times, it might be kind of running around and you don't really have any other choice. I don't enjoy doing it. I don't like doing it. But sometimes you just have to. What's up? How's life going? Life's going well. Thank you for stopping by. I'm hanging out. Just finished my junior year of college. I'm a senior now. Finished my finals a few days ago. Did well on most of them, I assume. I'm still waiting back on one of them, and now I'm hanging out here for the summer, and then I'm going to go back to Chicago for my senior year. Hopefully all this COVID stuff will be behind us. Uh, I definitely am really positive about the future when it comes to all that stuff. Things are slowly going back to normal or whatever, if we'll ever go back to normal or whatever. So, yeah. On a second note, did you watch the Mortal Kombat movie and what was your opinion about it? So I never played the video game or anything like that. That was just never really something I did. I tried watching it with some friends, and just like midway through, I just kind of got bored. But from what I heard, like people seemed to like it. I guess maybe it was. I guess my takeaway is like, wow, this is very gory and gruesome, But I don't know. I didn't really give it a fair shot, but that was mainly because I didn't really know anything about Mortal Kombat in general, and I kind of was going into it not really paying attention that much anyway, and I kind of just lost interest. So maybe I'll have to sit down and actually watch it. I don't know if it's different if like someone like who actually played the game versus someone who had no idea what the game was. I didn't really know what was happening. And it was just very violent, which I guess is cool. I didn't really know what the plot was when I was watching it. I was just like people killing each other. And not saying that those scenes weren't cool, because they definitely were, but then kind of towards like the middle of the movie or wherever, I just kind of lost interest. How are you doing mentally? I'm doing fine. Doing a lot better in that department for sure. I would like to think. But yeah, I'm doing a lot better. Getting ready to have a good summer. Kind of random, but how your luck been on dating apps recently? Um, let me think. That yeah. So the last video I made about like dating apps was that Bumble video about why I deleted it. I have not really done any dating apps since. But apparently those videos are still doing well, and people are still reaching out to me and still, doing stuff. And I am thinking about trying it out again. I don't really think I want to, because I feel like I wasn't really in the right place, like mentally, confidence wise, to really be on those apps. So I kind of had to take a step away from it, which I recommend anyone if you're going through that. Just take a step away. You don't have to quit it entirely, but just take a step back. So that's kind of what I've been doing, is just focusing on school. But now it's the summer. I'm thinking about downloading some of those other apps. I've had viewers recommend me, what's it called? Hinge. I downloaded Hinge when I was in Chicago and instantly deleted it because I was like, this overwhelms me a lot. But I think I might use it here, just because the difference between using a dating app in college is, because when you use a dating app in college, you are going to see the people. Like, this happened to me all the time when I had Bumble. I would see people that I saw on my Bumble in person, and like I would recognize them. I wasn't sure if they recognized me, but I was like, I've definitely seen that person on my phone, my dating app before, 100%. And so I guess with this is, if I'm doing it in, where I'm from, in my town, it's relatively big enough where I'll probably never see these people. And like the way I understand Hinge, I'm in DC right now, DC, Maryland area, and the way I understand Hinge is that, you can message them, they message you. It actually seems like a really interesting, it seems like a really, okay, I didn't get to read your comment, DATA. I missed it. I'm sorry. Um, but it seems like a very interesting app, I guess. So it's definitely something I'm gonna try. Um, I'll probably make a video on it, but I actually want to like really like use it first and see what's gonna happen. I'm not gonna just do it for the sake of a video. I actually want to see what it's like. And if I enjoy it, I'll tell people that. And if I don't, I'll also tell people that. And I think there's a big thing for me too, is I think before I really get back on these dating apps, I need to do something with my pictures, because I have no pictures of myself, and I feel like that's a big problem. I feel like that's where I'm lacking. And you could say looks and other stuff and maybe not being interesting or whatever. Fine, you're totally. I'm sure both of those apply, but I think I definitely was lacking, and I just don't take photos of myself. I never do. So I think one of these days I'm gonna have to get someone to take photos of me. I'm gonna take like 5 or 6 different outfits with me, and we're gonna go around the place. Oh, you removed it because the subject got changed. Oh, I see. I see. I mean, you're welcome to comment it again. No worries. I imagine it was something about Mortal Kombat or whatever. But yeah, no, you don't need to delete them. But I appreciate you being considerate. But yeah, so that's my thoughts on all that. Does someone get in the dean's list only per semester, not the whole year? I'm not sure. I don't know. I think you can get it per semester. I don't really check that stuff, honestly. I think so. I think so, right? I believe it's by semester. Get a professional photographer? Maybe. I mean, I have a nice camera, or I could get an actual photographer. And look, that here's what we can do. I think this could be a fun video. Just like picking 5 or 6 outfits and just going around somewhere. Maybe I can do this with my sister while she's still here, because she's here for a few weeks. Just going around the place, taking photos and updating that for my also updating that for my profile. So that's something I can definitely do. I'm looking. So for sure. Eric, your celebrity status will give you too many matches. You would think, right? But it doesn't help at all. I don't think people know who I am on there, and if they do, they just ignore me. Also, again, very off topic. No worries. What are your opinions on the Bears drafting Justin Fields? All right, to get on a little football tangent here, that shocked me. It surprised me. I didn't think they were going to do it. I should have thought that they were going to do it given all the moves that they were trying to make at quarterbacks during the offseason, whether it be Russell Wilson and stuff like that, and how they were trying to make these efforts. So, but wow, that surprised me, and I'm very excited about it. I think it's kind of one of those low risk, high reward. I mean, they didn't give up too much. But I'm really looking forward to it, and we'll see when he starts. I'd like to see him as soon as possible, but whenever he's ready. So I'm very excited for Justin Fields, for sure. I might have to get his jersey, but I want to watch him play first before I make any. Because I do this thing where I buy jerseys of athletes and like too early, and then their career doesn't really work out, and then I just have this jersey or whatever. Or they get traded. You applied for dorms or apartments. I am going to be in an apartment with 4 other people. Would be a good video? Yeah, I think it would be too. I'm personally a 49ers fan and definitely thought we were drafting him. Yeah, you guys got Trey Lance, right? I'm not entirely sure. I mean, he seems pretty good from the small sample size I've seen. I guess the one downside would be that he played, at North Dakota State. So it's like, can you really, just like can you replicate that kind of competition? But we'll see. I mean, I still think there's a lot of promise for him too. I'd be excited about that pick, and I'm surprised Fields went that far down on the draft board. That really shocked me. Are you going to VidCon? I believe that is going to be when, in October, if I'm not mistaken. They're moving VidCon to October this year, and I don't think I will be able to go. So unfortunately, no. The VidCon afterwards, for sure, I would think. But yeah, it sucks. It sucks because I really want to go, but they're doing it in like October, which I understand because of COVID. High ceiling, but very low floor. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, I wish I could go to VidCon, but unfortunately, that's not really looking like an option at the moment. Are you going? It's definitely a lot of fun. Did I meet you there? I don't know. I don't recognize you, but maybe I did meet you there. I met a lot of people there, so I don't know. I really don't think looks matter anymore, TBH. Whenever I go out, see so many girls with different types of guys, tall, short, nerdy, jockish, goth, emo, etc. I think it comes down to the individual. Yeah, I believe that too. I mean, I think everyone definitely has like preferences. For sure. Like, I think everyone, like, think about it. Sometimes, you may like some, there are some things that you might find attractive or whatever, but that's not like a 100%, oh, if I don't meet these, like, certain criteria, it's not going to work out. Because if there's someone out there who's only going after those things, they're not going to really find anything, and I'm sure people are going to realize that. But yeah, I don't really think I think they definitely play a role, but I don't think they play as much as a role as people think they do. My advice would just be to actually put effort into your appearance and, like at least try, maybe doing your hair, shaving, whatever. And then, kind of do with what you can control, because there's other things you just can't control. And I think some people, sometimes this would happen to me where I just wasn't presentable. Like I wasn't doing anything to my appearance and just expecting people, so at least put an effort into it. But yeah, it's not like this huge, as long as you have okay hygiene and you're taking care of yourself and you're a good person and whatever, I think you'll be fine. But yeah, don't let yourself go or anything like that. But no, I totally agree. I don't think it really matters as much as some people like to place that weight on it. They like to make it seem like that plays a much bigger role than it does. Not saying it's non-existent, but it doesn't matter as much as everyone says it does, in my opinion. Personality, as cheesy as it is, sounds like it's definitely most attractive or the most ugly feature about somebody. Sure, I mean, I think another thing, you should try to grow out some stubble, man. I think you could rock that look, maybe, but it would take a while. I think another thing about the just all that stuff is one thing I was thinking about is like, I think one thing that I would like to think I have going for me is like my sense of humor and my personality and kind of like my dry sarcasm or whatever, which people seem to like. But the problem is that you can't really see that stuff in a dating profile, right? You're only given these images and then just kind of something that I write, about myself. And the stuff I write is never really that interesting. And I'm like, man, I wouldn't even want to go out with me. Not that I'm attracted to myself, but I'm just saying it's like, that's one of the issues I see with dating apps is that sometimes it's hard to really convey your personality through those things. You definitely can, and it's definitely something I'm trying to work on. Once I do, or if I do, download Hinge or whatever, which I'm being told to do, it's definitely something I'll work on. But yeah, Eric, is college the only reason for the lack of content, or were there other reasons? I think college was a big thing the last couple weeks, just finals and trying to stay on top of it. And then the past couple days, I've just been moving back home. I should be back to normal in a few days and trying to do the whole weekly thing. I was a few years back, there were points where I was very like on the ball. You'll have those kind of, yeah. That I definitely did have those moments. Yeah, that's the whole thing with YouTube. You have these ups and downs. After my Logan Paul video, I'd get 1,000 views a video, and then that stuff kind of dwindles. And it's just about just continuing with it, because it's not gonna. I think some people think that it's just gonna be this upward thing, but it's not. It's very much, ups and downs and ups and downs and ups and downs, and then maybe one day we'll be up there. But right now, as we're in that kind of growing stage, it's literally just ups and downs and ups and downs. Instead of pictures, or in addition to pictures, do you think an intro video to your profile would be a good idea? Is that something you can do on Hinge? Or Bumble, or any of those apps? It's definitely something I definitely want to... Some things I want to try is I want to try out pictures, 100%. I want to try out, because I feel like I don't have enough pictures of myself. So that's definitely something I'm going to do. That video idea sounds interesting. I haven't really seen that used before. But yeah. And I feel like Hinge is interesting too, because you're actually sending the messages to people. And like vice versa. And it seems like a lot easier to start conversations on there. So like Bumble, I just feel like people would just, I don't want to say shallow, but it's like they're just not really, they're just kind of mindlessly scrolling, and admittedly, my profile wasn't that interesting, and I didn't really have that many good photos. I don't blame people for swiping on me. I think that's true. PewDiePie said it's really easy to get top randomly on YouTube, but it's very difficult to stay there and remain relevant. Oh yeah, 100%. And people like to bring up put a 2013 COD style. Yeah, exactly. I think people sometimes people will be here and be like, oh, what happened to your channel or whatever. It's like, man, that's just YouTube, dude. And honestly, not to toot my own horn, because my channel isn't insanely good, but there are some people who have the same amount of subscribers as me that are not getting the same views. And that's not to be egotistical or whatever, but I'm just saying it just shows that this stuff is very it's just up and down. It's very, it's hard to keep people around for a long period of time. And it's hard to get people to subscribe in the first place. That's another thing I don't know if people entirely understand. It's not easy to get subscribers. And it's not easy to get them to watch your videos either. And if you think about it, I have nearly 5,000 subscribers, 600,000 views. So there were, 500,000 or so people that watch my videos. And I know some people watch several different videos and they count as one viewer or whatever. But you have people that watch my videos or whatever over and over again, and yeah, 600,000 views and only 5,000 subscribers. So there's only some people actually subscribing, and that's why you get so many YouTubers reminding people at the beginning of the video, hey, only a small percentage of you are subscribed. Have you seen those? Dream YouTubers, people like that. They always tell you that the percentage of people who watch their videos and stuff like that. It's not easy to get people to subscribe. Since you said it yourself, pictures don't show humor, personality. I was thinking that people can get creative and a video would just easily show. Yeah, I think I agree with that. I think that could be cool. I don't know if that's a thing. You would think it would be. Cause it seems, but then it's like, would people really want to sit through those? Cause like when you're on a dating app, you're just kind of mindlessly scrolling. Like you're just kind of like left, right, left, right, left, right. Like you're not even really thinking about it too much, you know. But it's definitely an idea. I mean, I definitely think you would get to know a person for sure through doing that. But that's why I think, I think I'm definitely better off meeting people in the real world. I think the problem with that is that sometimes it's hard for me to introduce myself to people and be in situations in which you see people and are doing stuff like that. But I think definitely, like, I know some people might say that I'm awkward or whatever, but I would like to think that that I can keep a conversation going in person. I would like to think that. I mean, for those of you that have met me in person, your content is just better. Simple as that. Well, thank you. Yeah, I think there is like, and sometimes and whenever like a YouTuber has a viral videos are cool, but like man, dude, that's a way to get a lot of inactive subscribers. Like you have everyone just coming in from that one video and then they never actually watch your other videos and it's just like uh let's see. Now. Do you have anxiety when you meet new people? Sometimes. I mean, it really depends. Um, if yeah, it depends. Sometimes, not all the time. Uh, I've gotten a lot better with it, but it can be a little nerve wracking, right? Because you're really worried about making a good first impression, and that can kind of play into it. But not as much as I used to. But I think definitely in the back of my head for sure. Did you bring home the Legos? I did. They're in a bin somewhere. I kept them in their box, so hopefully they're not squished. But yeah, I did bring back the Legos. So thank you, Rocky, for those. I will have to take them out. I'm still in the middle of unpacking everything. I pretty much unpacked all my dirty laundry and my computer and other stuff like that, and trying to kind of work back into things, and but yeah. Let me just check. All right, sorry. I kind of was looking at my phone for a minute. But yes, I did bring the Legos home. I'm still in the middle of unpacking everything. I got a lot of stuff that I need to unpack before my second dose of the vaccine tomorrow, and I got some other stuff I need to do. But yes, I did. I did bring home the Legos. I brought home a lot of stuff. I didn't bring too much stuff to college to begin with, so we could get everything out in a few trips. But yeah, I'm definitely glad to not be there anymore. Honestly, like I'm glad I was there, but and I'm glad about like the particular building I had. But the one thing about the building I had, I was in an on-campus apartment, and the thing with on-campus apartments is that they don't have a front desk person. I don't know if any of you have been in college or whatever, but a lot of the dorms or whatever, there's always going to be someone at the front desk. They check people in, whatever. And because of that, it won't get too rowdy because you can only check in a certain amount of people and stuff like that. And there's rules around people and whatever. What kind of Legos do you have? I got like those Lego Mandalorian things because I really like the Mandalorian. And I also have some Bionicles in the back for those of you that are fans of the whole Bionicle thing. I used to collect those and play with those when I was younger. But they're basically there's like a front desk person, and at my off-campus apartment there was no front desk person. So that was interesting. Uh, Is the vaccine safe? I mean, does it differ in each country? But yeah, I'm really iffy about that. No, I get that. From what I heard, it is. I mean, you're gonna get side effects. There's gonna be stuff like that that's gonna happen. But the overwhelming evidence, at least from what I've seen, is been that, like, this will help when it comes to stopping the spread. I think worries are totally normal. But I think you should definitely look into it and maybe try to consult your doctor or whatever and think about it. But I mean, again, I'm not a medical expert. I would say do the research for yourself. But yeah, I would consider it. Um, so yeah, but yeah, basically because of that, a lot of people, since there's no front desk people, there would always be people throwing parties. And it was very chaotic every night. And my neighbor would always have like 15, 20 people over. And it would be very annoying. And I did not like it. That was where I was going with that tangent. Were there parties in your dorm? Ryan, all the time. All the time. Not in mine, but like the one across, all the time. Because that's where all the freshmen would congregate, because there was no front desk person. So you'd have like 8, 9 people there. And yeah, at sometimes, 15, 20. I saw some shirtless people run throughout the hallways. You see kids complaining about losing their vape. I remember once they were actually busted by the RAs. The RAs busted them, and they're like, come out, show us your IDs. And all the kids just ran out, and the RAs didn't do anything about it, so they didn't even get busted. So yeah, those people were so annoying. It's like, Marquette, actually. Neither of those. Georgetown, I imagine, was a big one that people went to. Do you think the Paul brothers got lucky with their YouTube success? I can't decide if it was all just luck or whether it was a case of hard work. I don't know. I mean, I think definitely hard work plays into it, in that there were moments when both of them were uploading daily videos, and they definitely were putting out a lot of content. I know they also were big on Vine too, so I'm sure there's some luck in getting videos famous at the right time. I think it's definitely a combination. I think when anyone's famous, I think there's always a bit of luck involved, for sure, just because it is hard to get discovered, and hard even if, like, I've seen some people with awesome videos, not saying I count as this, but I'm saying I see some people with awesome videos who don't get the recognition they deserve. I heard of some crazy ones at Georgetown. Yeah. But yeah, I think it's definitely a little bit of both for both of them. Now I know they're doing the whole boxing thing, and I don't really keep up with them too much. I know one of them I know Logan's boxing Floyd Mayweather, which I actually probably will watch that with some friends, because I feel like that could be interesting. But yeah, I think it's definitely both. And I'm not really a fan of either of them, to be honest, but I do think it is definitely both of those. Because there were points when both of them were uploading daily content. And even if you're a full-time YouTuber, that's not very easy to do. I think some people think that it is. I'm not saying it's difficult than a 9-to-5 job. I'm not trying to make that argument, or one that requires this, brutal manual labor or anything like that. But I'm just saying I think some people think it's a lot less work than it really is. It's definitely a dream job for sure, but it's definitely more work than I think people think it is. Did you see the scuffle between Jake and Floyd, and what is your take on that? I think it's just kind of, these antics to try to build up press. I mean, I don't know. I thought it was kind of silly and kind of like middle schooler. Like, what are you what are you doing, man? And it's not even Jake's fight either. So it's just kind of silly seeing that stuff. Honestly, I think deep down, neither Floyd Mayweather or Logan Paul really hates each other or anything like that. They just know that this is going to get a lot of eyes, and that they're both in for a big payday. And I think Logan knows too that he has no shot at winning. I mean, come on. I don't care if Floyd Mayweather is 44. He's 50-0. And I mean, his last boxing fight was 2 or 3 years ago. I mean, I'm not saying he's in like this ridiculous shape or anything like that, but man, I know the question was for Eric, but my take is that Jake did it to sell the fight. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, that's a big thing. They really want to. And I'm actually considering, like, I'm definitely interested in the Logan Paul Floyd Mayweather fight. Although it does seem kind of interesting that it's Logan Paul. Like, Logan Paul is 0-1. He hasn't even won a fight. He lost to another YouTuber, and now he's going up against Floyd Mayweather. I mean, come on. But it's definitely, like, it's interesting enough to get your attention on it. I do wish that it was Jake Paul versus Floyd Mayweather, just because Jake Paul's 3-0, and like I'm waiting for Jake Paul to face like a real boxer. So I would have preferred that fight. Maybe that fight will happen down the line because I know they've hinted at that. But I would watch that fight. I would be excited for that fight. I still think Jake Paul would lose, but that's something I would be more willing to watch. Because in all of Jake Paul's matches, he's kind of dominated. Not saying he's really boxed the most professional people or anything like that, or qualified people, but I would totally. And I think there's some talks about him fighting like an actual current boxer, which that's all I want to see. But I don't know. I am interested in seeing that fight. I know a lot of people don't care, but there is something, I mean, something for me saying like, you know what, I think this could be interesting. Do you think Charlie deserves the fame she has? Oh, Charlie D'Amelio? I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of people, like, she's what, 16, 17? I think a lot of people are just trying to hate on this girl that just kind of got famous, and she didn't really have much control over that. And I mean, look, do I think there's people out there that are more deserving? Sure. Definitely, right? I mean, I'm sure she would even agree with that. But I think it's one of those things where she's just put in that situation, and she's just trying to make the most of it, and get those brand deals, get those agents, management, whatever, and take advantage of all the opportunities she has to take care of herself and her family and make a career and a name for herself. So I don't know. I mean, deserves, not necessarily, but I don't think she deserves the hate that she gets. Like, that girl gets a lot of hate. People are saying, oh, she needs to credit every single dance move she uses. It's like, give me a break. Do you know how many people on TikTok are like dancing and don't credit stuff? Like, do you expect every time you do a dance, you have to say like, oh, and by the way, this dance was done by so-and-so? I don't know. I think people give her way too much crap. I really do. But again, I mean, it's not really my thing. I don't really watch her stuff. I don't know why I would, but I think she definitely gets way too much crap. Like a miracle could happen and boom, down goes Floyd by a lucky punch. No, I agree. I think there is definitely something like that too, where it's like, okay, he just needs to land one shot. Because Logan has the height. He has a height advantage. He's like 6 inches taller, I believe. He's definitely bigger, right? He's younger, which in boxing, that kind of helps, right? Because Floyd Mayweather's 44. Logan's what, 26, 27? I mean, if he were a boxer, he'd be in his prime, right? Floyd is not in his prime. The thing that Mayweather has going for him is that he's 50-0. Eric, no offense, but I don't like Jake Paul. No, I don't like him either. I think he's immature and should take note from his older brother. Yeah, I definitely prefer Logan Paul over Jake Paul. I didn't think Logan could come back from his suicide forest, but he's really grown as a person. I would agree with that. I think he definitely has, from what I've seen, he definitely has seemed to have grown as a person. And good for him for that. I owe the growth of my channel to Logan Paul. So, but yeah, no, for sure. I would say Logan Paul is definitely easier to root for. I don't really like either of them, but I would say if you had to pick one, it would be him. Now, there is part of me just being like, okay, well, what if I bet on this fight? Because I know if you're betting on Logan Paul, there's a potential that you could get a big payout. I think it's like if you're going to bet $1,000 on Logan Paul, if Logan Paul were to win, you would get $8,500. Now, if you're betting on Mayweather, I don't really think you'd get anything from that because, he's the clear favorite. So I don't know. I don't know. I've never really bet on anything before. I don't know how much I would be willing to bet. Because if I were to bet, I would bet on Logan Paul. Just because you're gonna make more money that way. And I don't endorse betting, gambling, or whatever. I think you need to be responsible, blah blah blah. But I'm just saying. Um, Logan Paul fight odds. What are the odds for this fight? It's June 6th. Is that when it is? Oh, that's coming up, kinda, right? Floyd Mayweather knockout. Okay. I'll have to look into that. Eric, the only thing I've ever betted on is March Madness. See, I think that's too unpredictable to bet on March Madness. That's super unpredictable. The current price. Okay, I don't understand how betting works. Does anyone here understand betting? All right, when was his last fight? Mayweather's last fight was in August of 2017. And that was against Mayweather. I mean, not Mayweather, McGregor. Okay, so if you're gonna bet on uh what does this mean? So Paul, meanwhile, is a 900 underdog, which means you'd earn a $900 payday if you bet. Okay, so if you were to bet $100 on Logan Paul, you would make $900. Uh, your dorm looks so different, Eric. Yes, I redecorated my dorm. Hey, Patrick, what's up? Uh, yeah, Patrick's not a member. He just has like a cool wrench next to his name. What is your opinion on Trisha Paytas? Yeah, Patrick, why don't you become a member? I don't know. I mean, I do think her and H3H3 have this very interesting dynamic with one another, which is definitely something that is kind of interesting. I do kind of like H3H3. I don't know if that's a hot take or a controversial take. I do kind of enjoy his podcast from time to time. Would waste money on Eric. You wouldn't waste money on Eric. Um, yeah, I lost about $700 this year. Dang. Uh, he lost his last fight was a charity event in Japan. I think that was after McGregor. By the way, I'll be back in a few minutes. Oh, okay. I don't know how long I'm going to be streaming tonight. I'm probably going to get off relatively soon. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm not a huge Trisha Paytas fan. She's definitely interesting to say the least. I'll give her that. I don't know. I think she has a good dynamic with H3H3. I don't really watch her individual content. Did you ever do drugs, alcohol while at college? I'm a minority who has never done drugs. I very rarely drink. Um, okay, to be transparent, I never did like drugs or anything like that. When I turned 21, I did drink alcohol, but I didn't really get drunk. I just kind of drank it. I tried some like this hard cider. I tried some, what was it, tequila, some other stuff. I didn't get drunk or anything, just kind of like, have that warm buzz in your stomach or whatever. But yeah, I didn't really get drunk or anything like that. But no, I never did drugs or anything like that while in college. That never really, I never really saw the appeal to that. Do you think TikTok is a toxic community? I think there's certainly good parts of it, but I think definitely as a whole it is kind of toxic. just because whenever I was there, it just felt like there were always just people trying to put down each other. You know, there were a lot of people mocking one another, making fun of one another, calling women objects, just all this like gross stuff. And it definitely is a very toxic community. That's not to say that there aren't good parts of it, but it was not for me. The community was just very, they were just putting people down, man. I mean, it's just a bunch of young kids just like making fun of other people. So yeah, it definitely is. That's why I had no problem leaving it. I think it's been like a year since I deleted TikTok, and I don't know. I'd say my life is better. So yeah, but that's not to say that there aren't good parts of it, because I'm sure there are. But as a whole, it definitely can be very toxic, especially if you're going into those certain niches and communities in which it's just people bullying people, you know. Um, I don't follow Ethan Klein but that man's just got himself muted for infiltrating the James Charles Twitter topic. Tired of seeing his stupid blank on my feed. Him and Trisha Paytas, y'all are grown adults bullying children. I don't think James Charles is a child, though, right? I do think H3H3 has this thing where I feel like he'll sometimes go in really hard on some topics, and it's kind of like, okay, But I don't know. The James Charles situation was interesting. And also the, what was the other one? The David Dobrik thing. He really kind of beat that topic down to death, as it were. But I definitely watch him from from time to time. I can hear my sister playing the ukulele upstairs. Just as a heads up, I'm probably going to be getting off soon, everyone. Do you swear? Yeah, but not on my videos. I mean, I definitely will like swear sometimes, like behind the scenes or with friends or whatever, but it's not something that I like to do online just because I don't really think it's a very good look to have yourself swearing on the internet. If that's your thing, that's your thing, but it's just like I don't see any positives in me swearing online. Like, what am I going to get from that, If anything, it would just give an employer an excuse to not hire me. They're like, look at this guy. I know some are cool with it, some aren't. I just try to play it safe. You also never really know who's watching either. I know it's definitely up to parents to try to monitor what their kids are watching, but I can't control who's watching, so I try to keep on somewhat of a filter. Let's be real. Ethan and Trish are both 30 years old. Like, I'm sorry, but I think adults need to stay away of the drama sphere. If you're going to do that, be like 18. Well, I think people who talk about internet drama are kind of lame to begin with, and I definitely was one of those people that used to do that. I do think it is kind of a lame thing. But I don't know. I mean, I think it really depends on the topic and what you're talking about. And, if you're like bullying like a 15-year-old kid, of course, yeah. But there are some things where it's like, okay, I kind of get that. I don't know. It depends. In my humble opinion, I think I might bet money on the Logan Paul fight. If I were to bet money on the Logan Paul fight, I would 100% bet on Logan Paul to win. Do you think Kylie Jenner is a spoiled brat, but also I got to go soon? I'm at 18%. I don't know. I don't really know enough about her. Peace out, Eric. Got to do a few projects for finals. I've always great stopping by for the live streams. Glad you're back home in your own space. Take care. All right, I think I'm going to call it a night then. Thank you, everyone, for showing up. I appreciate it. I had a nice discussion. Had like 10, 12 people at one point, so thank you so much for that. This was definitely an impromptu stream. So yeah, I am going to head out. I appreciate all the people who stopped by and left their comments and left feedback. And I'll see you people next time, later. I don't know. Videos will be back soon. Thank you. Have a nice night. And